Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is your host Trillionaire. Very excited to be with you today. Do have a fantastic ICO coming up to discuss with you today. Goes by the name of DarcMatter. I know it sounds real spooky, real mysterious. DarcMatter is a very interesting platform, and in their own words, they are a global platform for alternative investments where investors directly and transparently access funds and fund managers to raise capital. Okay, obviously it's those fund managers that are raising capital, and they'll be the ones moving around the capital, but the investors are able to pick their fund managers much more appropriately, much easier, and in a much better way, actually see results much better. This will be interesting to check out. I did review Genesis token in the past, and Genesis token did 5x from the point that I reviewed it in the past. That was just early February. So very exciting to go ahead and review these guys in early April and see if I think that they'll have a similar reaction post ICO. Similar increase in value post ICO, ideally once the bull run actually does come about. Now, without further ado, we will go ahead and jump right into it. I like to keep these very short. So first thing is first, when is the ICO? ICO is coming up in just about 32 days, 3 hours, 25 minutes, okay? So looks like it's gonna be coming early May, okay? The website here is dmc.darcmatter.com, and that's dark with a C. No K there, okay? I know it's a little strange, but bear with me. All right, so what do they do? I believe I've already explained that. What problem do they solve? Well, the problem they solve is simply a lack of transparency in the marketplace. So they are creating that transparency in the financial services via the use of blockchain. And genuinely, I do feel that this is an appropriate use of blockchain technology, absolutely. Okay, so we know what they do. We know the problem they solve. We know when the ICO is. When is the product out? Okay, so here we are at their roadmap, at DarcMatter's roadmap, and we see that it begins in 2014 when DarcMatter HQ was founded in New York, New York. It is a US company, so that should provide at least a little bit of credence to them, and aside from the fact that they are actually putting their faces on here, which is nice. DarcMatter HQ founded New York, 2014. DM official launch 2015, and that's DarcMatter.com, again with a C. DarcMatter platform launched in 2016. 2017, they have a growth plan of user expansion, 120 plus alternative funds at 1,000 plus investors registered, broker, dealer, partner secured, yada yada. Okay, and now where we're currently at, and we're in 2018, got their global DM growth, global usage and blockchain rollout, 150 plus alternative funds, and 1,400 plus investors registered. Initial NEM blockchain integration into DM's platform. Launched DarcMatter DMC ICO. So folks, to answer the question of do they have a product out? Yes, they do have a product out. They've had a product out since 2015. This is one of the rare cases where they do have a product out. In fact, it's one of the rare cases where it's a company that's been out for some time, at least in the technological sense. That begs the question, why do these guys need an ICO? And, we will try to answer that in a later video that dives deeper into the ICO and more into how all of this works. But that is not the focus of this video. The focus of this video is to give you the short and sweet information on whether or not this is a good ICO to be investing in from a financial profitability standpoint for you. Okay, so for the future, what do they have planned? 2018, DarcMatter Global, revolutionizing financial services. DarcMatter DMC ICO private pre-sale, launch, then blockchain, yada, yada. Okay, that's all Q1. Q2, which we're now in, DM ICO public pre-sale launch. DM, NEM, Blockchain, Alpha Plus, DMC, ICO, crowd sale, close, and token distribution. Q3, DM, NEM, blockchain integration, optimizations. Q4, DM, NEM, blockchain rollout, institutional client usage, international NEM, blockchain optimizations, European market entry. Okay. So all those things look great. Nothing really piquing my interest too much there. Connect with the DMC community below, yada, yada. Okay, so you can go visit them on DMC, Medium, Telegram, and their Reddit. And we will have a look at their Reddit pretty shortly here. But first, I want to take a look at their team, okay? I want to see if they're good. And again, since this is just an initial analysis of their ICO and whether or not it's worth even spending more time on, we're going to go ahead and have a look here. And obviously, this can be backed up by visiting these folks on LinkedIn's. Normally, I like to see these guys link to their LinkedIn, and look at that. They absolutely do. George Sun, founder and CEO of George Sun, KK Mandarin, Cheongyang District, Beijing, China. I started my career with investment banking and private equity firms after my graduation from London Business School 2001. In the past few years, I've founded a few startups, including Gorvest Capital, a China-based VC firm, and Power Launch, mental wellness-related education organization. Now I am excited about working with my partners on a EDU tech company with a focus for teaching Chinese Mandarin to young people with edge-cutting technology and personalized content. Okay, that all sounds great. Not exactly what I was looking for. It's not really mentioning anything about the company that we're focused on here. Interesting. Okay, anyways. CEO of CMK Capital. What they say on the actual website here, Mr. Sun, and I know we're jumping a little out of order here because we should be starting with May Gang, but anyways, Mr. Sun established and was CEO at China Merchants Kunlun Capital, CMK Capital, a China-founded PE fund with AUM of RMB 7.5 billion. He was also the managing director, head of China business development, and at Dutch Bank, executive director at Morgan Stanley, and direct head of China Financial Institutions Group at HSBC. This guy is a big hitter. Does have a good resume behind him. May Gang, Mark May, co-founder of OKCoin and founder of Ventures Lab. Mark is the co-founder of OKCoin, one of the world's largest and pioneering cryptocurrency exchanges. That's debatable, but they are large. Subsequently, Mark founded Ventures Lab in 2005, China's first internet business incubator, along with legendary venture capitalist Tim Draper. He was also the venture partner of DFJ, Dragon, found in Silicon Valley in the early 2000s. So he does have experience in the space. Good to hear from May Gang. I'll give him a 4 out of 5, or rather a 3.5 out of 5. Is a 7 fair? I'd give him an 8. I wouldn't give him a 9. I'd give him an 8 out of 10. All right. And I'd give George Sun here, I'd give him a 8.5, 9 out of 10 for his role. John Nam, Strong Ventures Managing Director. John Nam is the Managing Director of Strong Ventures. John is a co-founder and managing partner of Strong Ventures, a seed fund with offices in Koreatown, Los Angeles, and Gangnam. I'm totally mispronouncing that, Seoul, which primarily supports and finances startups in Korea and Asian American founders in the U.S. Okay, yeah, he sounds like Strong Ventures Managing Director, not sounding like a absolute all-star to me in the initial read there. Again, this is just an initial check, folks. We're not diving deep into this. Obviously, if you're going to invest in this, you need to do more work on it if you're putting any sort of substantial amount of money into it. This is just a preliminary check, okay? I'm not trying to do all your homework for you. I'd be here for a few days holding your hand, and nobody has time for that. Anyway, James Duplessis, Senior Principal at Army Capital and co-founder of Pangea Investments. James has over 30 years of investing experience, Previously, he led special situations credit team for Napier Park Capital. Before Napier, James was head of distressed debt strategies at Citigroup, which acquired his firm, Epic Asset Management. Earlier in his career, he was an executive director and portfolio manager for UBS AG and for O'Connor and Associates. James received so James knows his stuff, okay? He's senior principal at Armory Capital and co-founder of Pangea Investments, okay? James knows his stuff, especially for what he's planning on doing. Doesn't really say what he's planning on doing here, just says advisors and investors. Interesting. I wish they would actually say what these folks are planning on doing here. But anyways, I digress. Adrian Lamb, founder, Workspace.com and ICO advisor. Adrian and founder Workspace with the listings of 1,000 plus served workings in Asia. He is also a top ICO advisor leading projects such as IHT Coin, Trade, Mobi, and Electrify Asia. Electrify Asia just did a good job. He's also the former COO. And by the way, folks, I did review Electrify Asia if you'd like to check that out as well. Electrify Asia, he is also the former CEO of Sports Hero, now listed on Australian Stock Exchange ASX. Matten Lari, private equity investor. Matten is private equity investor with over 15 years of industry experience, involved in both deals and investor relations at some of Asia's top PE firms, including Fosun Group, a 200 billion conglomerate, Honey Capital, 15 billion, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so they've got the appropriate people, and with the required amount of, dare I say, experience and knowledge to go along with it, doesn't look like they're just, bootstrapping from the ground up, no experience. These are people who've been, purposefully pulled together in the right, jobs to go ahead and do what it needs to be done. Let's move on to our next topic. Overall, I'd give the team a 4 out of 5 or a 4.5 out of 5. They're looking good. Okay, so we had to look at the team. Team's good. We had to look at the timeline. Timeline's good. We know if the product's out. We know the problems they solve. We know what they do. What about the ICO funds distribution? What about the token distribution? And would I invest in it? Let's go ahead and answer that. So they have raised their soft cap of $5 million. Now they're trying to achieve a hard cap of $35 million. Will they be able to achieve $35 million? I mean, considering the fact that they raised their soft cap of $5 million in a not very long period of time, I'm not going to say it's out of the question at all. In fact, I'd say it's very possible. The only thing that kind of steers me away from that is, well, $35 million in this climate is actually asking a lot. If they were asking for this amount of money 3 to 4 months ago, I would say yes, absolutely, they would get it, especially given who they have on the team and what they're planning on doing. I would say yes, absolutely. But the fact that we're in a bear market and people are kind of growing very weary of ICOs, and ICOs haven't been quite so profitable in the past, I'm going to go ahead and say that little difficult to go ahead and say yes, they can raise their 35 million. Now, is that something to be concerned with? Well, yes, absolutely, because with ICOs, if they don't raise their total capital very quickly, that means that there isn't going to be a lot of people left out of their crowd sale, which means that there will undoubtedly be a massive dump straight away without the pump post ICO. Okay, now if they do sell out very quickly, that means that there will be a major pump after the ICO, and then there will be a major dump. So if you're trying to invest in this for the long term, what I would say is hang on, wait for the ICO to be over, and pick it up once it's sub ICO price. All right, every single time practically, unless it's a game changer, and I'm not seeing that this is a game changer so far. I am seeing that is a good idea, but not a game changer. The price will go lower than initial ICO price, which means those who are patient will allow the market to come to them and they will reap the rewards for doing so. So my advice would be to wait, okay? Let's go ahead and have a closer look at what they plan to use with the money that they earn. And they say 49% will go to product research and development, 15% will go to platform expansion, 4% will go to PR and marketing, SG&A is 15%, seed investor 5%, and legal counsel 2%, regulatory compliance 3%, shareholder loan and reimbursements 2.5%, management dividend 3%, developers bonus 1.5%. Okay, so that's how they plan on using the proceeds. What they're investing in here does seem to be worthy of what they're raising their ICO funds for. Why this traditional company isn't going ahead and just raising it through traditional methods? Probably for the fact that they have a bunch of venture capitalists within the company, and they in venture capital has gone the way of ICOs. More and more we're seeing companies going towards ICOs, and so it just makes sense to do an ICO, which is jumping through way less hoops than an IPO. Not to say that there aren't hoops that they need to jump through, just saying that there are less of them. Now that we've addressed that, what would I do with this ICO? And I think I've already answered that for you guys. I would wait until the ICO is over. But if you were confident, if you were absolutely confident that these guys are going to, change the game, or, not even change the game. If you're confident that these guys are going to, if they're going to make a difference, if they're going to sell out their ICO, all right, this is the focus of this video. If they're going to sell out their ICO, then 100% you should go ahead and invest in the ICO. And in fact, I believe they're doing a pre-sale right now. In fact, I'm sure they're doing a pre-sale right now. Let me get my butt off the screen here and head over and you can to DarcMatter.com, and they do have a open public pre-sale, and it's currently going for 20 million. And I was wrong earlier. I said 5 million. They actually reached their private pre-sale cap of 10 million, and now they're trying to reach 20 million. It looks like they're on their way, like they're around the 13 million-ish point. And what they need from you is essentially this information here. So I'll let you guys go ahead and check that one out. But nevertheless, if you guys are confident that they're going to go ahead and sell that out in the next 30 days, and so far they're doing pretty good. It looks like they're almost about halfway there. By all means, go for it. Me personally, I am not going to invest in something with a hard cap that high, and I do think 35 million is high in this bear market. Now, if that flips around and starts going the other way, you know what? Maybe it would be good to get into, but me personally, I'm going to wait to catch this one after the ICO phase. Anyways, folks, that's all from Trillionaire. Thanks so much for joining me in this ICO quick analysis review. We're going to do many more of these. And I do have a couple on the docket coming up here. Let's see, I got one for 300 qubits, one for Pecuino. I totally might be mispronouncing that. One for Worldopoly, and one for Zero State. And that's just coming up this week. I got one video coming out tomorrow, one coming out the next day, one coming out the day after that. So stay tuned, folks. If you like the product, if you like what I'm doing here, check back in with me soon. Thanks so much. This has been Trillionaire. Peace.